We want to get over to Mumbai with Brett Lee because the IPL and the crisis that is happening over there in India in terms of COVID-19 is at the forefront, Mark, with everyone. Brett, thanks for chatting to us. First up, it is in the news. We know Australian players are coming back, but from your point of view, what is the general feeling around this with the IPL?
Firstly, as we say, a warm greeting, namaste, as they say in Hindi. Look, it's been a tournament that's, we're 22 games into it, and the players are in a bubble, the commentators and the officials are in a bubble. So we don't get to see the day-to-day stuff that's happening outside our hotel. Obviously, it's horrific what's going on with the COVID situation. The deaths over here are rising, the spikes are rising in terms of people getting infected. We're saying to people, stay home and hopefully watch a bit of cricket. So on one hand, we're obviously very aware of what's happening. And on the other hand, we're trying to provide a bit of entertainment for those people that are doing the right thing, staying home and staying safe, to try to provide them some cricket to watch.
Being good to see you, mate. Hope you're healthy over there. Look, we've already seen a few Australian players come home. There's been Ty, Zampa, Kane Richardson. We've seen Ashwin from the Indian camp go home as well. Do you think there could be a mass exodus of players, or do you think they'll see the competition through?
Look, I think you have to, and without using the pun, it's sort of a case-by-case sort of situation where, you can't blame, an Australian player that if he wants to go home, if he wants to get out of the bubble, if he wants to get back to his family. And you also can't blame an Australian player that wants to stay on the play the entire IPL if it continues to go ahead. So I think that depending on someone's mental health or depending on their situation, we have to address that situation. Look, what's happened, and the general consensus over here, June, is that anyone that's in the bubble is trying to maintain that bubble as tight as possible in order to try to make sure that nothing infiltrates through that bubble. Because I think once one person in a team gets COVID or tests positive to COVID, that then could jeopardise the whole IPL. That could then jeopardise, everyone would have to get on the plane and sort of come back and quarantine somewhere. So at the moment, from what I'm hearing from most of the players, 95% of the players are fully engaged. They understand the risks. They understand that from an Australian point of view, we had to get permission from the Australian government to be warranted an exemption to come over here, which we got granted. So we're fully aware of what we're doing. And we just have to abide by those sort of COVID rules. And if things change, look, I think it's going to happen where things change on a day-to-day basis and even an hour-to-hour basis as well.
Well, Brett, are you under pressure, or is the IPL under pressure to continue? Does it look good if you're out there playing sport, playing cricket, T20 cricket in a very rich tournament when basically people are dying in the streets?
Yeah, look, it's very hard to compare that, BJ, because on one hand, you're getting journalists saying all this stuff about, people are passing away around the world and sports continuing. How can that happen? And I get that side of things. On the other side of things as well, from the sort of cricketer's point of view and from a broadcaster's point of view, one thing we are saying is that, the sort of clear messaging, which is throughout the world and certainly here in India, is stay home, wear a mask, social distance, do all the right things, wash your hands. And so people staying at home, they're bored, they want to have that entertainment. And I think that in a controlled environment with the right structure in place, as the IPL is now, they are providing some entertainment to the people that are doing the right thing. So I don't personally see it being a problem if all those things are done correctly. Now, if, the BCCI come up and say, well, it's not in the best interest for the Indian government or the sort of people that are living over here, they don't want it to happen, well, then I think they will shut it down. But at the moment, we're just trying to provide some entertainment going through this horrible sort of situation.
Can you just explain to our listeners that what do you do every day? You're in the hotel, you're in Mumbai, there's two tournaments, one's in Mumbai, the other one's in Chennai. But what do you do every day? You go outside the hotel? How does that work?
No, we are in a very strict bio bubble here. So, the commentators, whether it's English, Hindi, different sort of regional languages that are all commentating on this Indian Premier League, the commentators all stay in one hotel, which is designed exclusively for the commentators. It's a bio bubble. We're on one floor. All the hotel staff stay with us for the duration of the stay, which is close to probably 70 days when you include the actual time that you spend in quarantine. Everyone's in it together. We will then go from our hotel room or our level that we've got here now down to a car, which is totally all sanitized every single day. They've got the screens up. We then go a half an hour trip to the studio. We walk in the studio. Anyone that works at Star Sports in the studio are all staying at the hotel as well. We then commentate, and then we come back to this bio bubble. We can't leave the hotel. We walk a couple of steps from our room to have our breakfast and our lunch every day before we go. So a typical day, BJ, is, you get up around about 10 in the morning. You might do some light exercise around by the pool. We can't use the pool. We can actually walk around the pool. I did my calf yesterday, which wasn't a good thing. We sort of walk around the pool, try and get some exercise and some sunlight. Then we leave at 3:00 in the afternoon and then go and work. And then you work until 2 a.m. in the night. You come back and you have your 7 or 8 hours sleep. And that continues day after day after day.
Do you reckon the Indian players are under a lot more pressure than, let's say, the international players to keep playing, given the fact that they have families there and some of them have already gone to see their families and not playing?
Look, I think everyone's under immense pressure. And, at the end of the day, the guys are doing it because they love playing cricket and they want to provide entertainment to, the fans watching. Now, as we're hearing with Ashwin, there might be some personal reasons or some family issues, the reason why he wanted to leave that bio bubble. And I guess there will be other players that, if one of their family members or their uncles or their aunties from the local players, the Indian players over here that test positive, well, then I'm sure that they'll probably also want to be with them. It's a day-by-day sort of situation. It's a case-by-case. Every player is different. I don't have an issue with a player that says they want to stay on, providing that's what the BCCI is saying. If they're saying it's still safe for the players to play and they're in this bio bubble, then I'm comfortable with that.